started, thank you again for being on time. As I always say, an on-time runner is my favorite type of runner. We will not hold buses for you on race day. We will not hold the start line on race day. So just getting in the habit of being on time is a great thing to do if you're a runner. My name is Jeremy. I'm the director of the Team for Kids program. I've been with New York Roadrunners for 9 years. This will be my 9th Brooklyn half as a Team for Kids staff member. And mostly just want to say a big, huge, gigantic thank you to this group. Simply put, Team for Kids or New York Roadrunners doesn't have youth programs without Team for Kids. Team for Kids runners over the course of the year will raise upwards of $8+ million last year, even more going into this year, to fully fund our youth and community impact programs. That's Rising New York Runners, our youth wheelchair programs, our Run for the Future, youth ambassadors, as well as community programs, because it takes a village, right? So Open Run, where families can come and they can bring their dogs and their strollers, and it's free and it's even more accessible to people who can't necessarily be in Central Park at 7 a.m. because of a million reasons. Our senior striders, people who are older, but they still need to be moving and feel connected to a community. Giving them a community to be active, to be fit, and to be social with is so important for older adults. All of these programs are programs that Team for Kids, in full or in part, funds, and all of these people across the city, thousands and thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of kids across the country, are benefiting from the fundraising that you're going to be doing for Team for Kids. So starting out, just thank you. It means everything to us. That's why we go through everything we do on the Team for Kids staff side to hopefully give you the best experience possible.
And with that being said, I have the deck ready for you guys.
Great. And with that, Ashley.
Fingers crossed. How are we looking?
Nailed it.
Yes.
Love it. So yeah, huge thank you. We know there were options in terms of the drawing. We know some of you maybe didn't have options, and that's why you signed up with us this year. We have a big team. We have 1,200 runners this year. However you got to us, thank you. We hope you have the best possible experience. So with that, we will kick off and we'll go to the next slide. So quick overview, meet the staff, save the date. The resources will provide you info about in-person training if you're local to the tri-state area, or if you're in New York City for a weekend. We have in-person training. Come hang out with us, and then meet our coaches Q&A. So we'll go ahead to the next slide. I've already introduced myself. I'm Jeremy. I'm the director of the program. I'll let Ashley, Lindsay, and David jump in and introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley. I'm running this wonderful kickoff call. I am the TFK Program and Alumni Engagement Specialist. I live in the Upper West Side of New York City, and I've been with Team for Kids for a little over 5 years on and off now. And Brooklyn Half was my very first half marathon, so I am very excited to kick this off.
Hi guys, I'm Lindsay. I am the registration and runner support specialist. I've been with New York Roadrunners for 7 years, but only with TFK for about a year. I started last March, so we're coming up on a year. And I live in Astoria, Queens, neighbor to Coach Rosie. So yeah, really excited to meet everybody and get this season started.
Hi everybody, I'm David. I'm the Team for Kids Operations Coordinator. I've been with TFK for almost 3 years. This will be my third Brooklyn half coming up. I deal primarily with customer service and race logistics, a little bit of a lot of things. So if you have any questions, I also am frequently answering the emails. So the contact you have down there, it's one of the people on this call answering your emails. We don't have AI, we don't have bots, we don't have forms. It's one of us answering you. Sometimes we have funny typos. We do our best to address everyone as best we can, as quickly as we can. So with that, we'll do.
Yeah. Like David said, it's one of the 4 heads that are currently nodding at you on the side of your screen. We are the people you are asking your questions to. We are a small but mighty staff. If the email's from me and you don't see a typo, you should be concerned, because then it might not be authentic, because I almost definitely will have a typo in mine. But the information's correct. One last thing before I pass it off. So the chat, I think, is probably disabled at this point. If you have a question along the way, just go to the bottom. If you don't see it there, hit the three dots at more, click Q&A. You can answer your questions there. As promised, one of the four of us nodding our heads on the side of the screen will be the people answering those questions today and for the next 10 weeks. Also, and this is so important, if at any point you have any question, all you have to do is email team4kids@nyrr.org. That is our inbox. That is coming to us. The only bad questions, one you don't ask. People get nervous about races. Don't be nervous because you didn't ask a question. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat tonight in the Q&A, or email us again, team4kids@nyrr.org. We will answer your questions as soon as we can. And that, I will pass it off to the next slide.
All right. Get your pen and paper ready because there'll be a quiz on this. Of course, I'm kidding. This is a very high-level overview of some key dates that are coming up throughout the season. Along with the email that you can reach us, we'll be sending out weekly emails that'll have a lot of key reminders. So we'll have notes on each of these key dates as they come up. So just chronologically, I think there is a bullet missing, but this upcoming Saturday is our first. There we go. This upcoming Saturday, the 9th, is our first in-person practice for those in the New York City area. The logistics of all our practice sessions are shared a week in advance, so they come out. Our weekly emails come out Sunday morning. They'll just give you a lot of information, including the logistics of the practice for the week ahead. Coming up Wednesday, March 20th, will be our half marathon virtual clinic. Again, information about signing up, pre-submitting questions will be coming soon. Wednesday, April 24th. Sounds like it's a long time from now, but that'll be your fundraising deadline. Included in our weekly emails, again, will be some fundraising tips every week, from some of our veteran fundraisers and some best practices. We also have fundraising consultations available. They'll be private. You don't have to share it in any public. If you have any certain particular personal questions you'd like to ask regarding your fundraising, just fill out that form and one of us will get back to you as quickly as we can. And we'll also send out some separate periodic reminders throughout the season, separate from our weekly emails. Tuesday, May 14th is your race registration deadline. So there's 3 key things you need to do to secure your entry. You've done the first by signing up with Team for Kids, which means you're on this call. The second would be your fundraising commitment, and the third would be actually registering for the race. That'll be May 14th. A good number of you have received your invitation emails. If for whatever reason you can't register at the moment, not a problem, but do make sure you register before the deadline. This again will send out separate reminders periodically just to make sure everyone's on pace and on target to run this race. Wednesday, May 15th through Friday, May 17th is the RBC Brooklyn Half pre-party. That'll be the sort of the expo where you come to pick up your bib. You can meet us, do some Team for Kids merchandise shopping. There will be like lots of expo merchandise sales, some fun activations. It's typically held in Pier 2 in Brooklyn. Confirmed venue and hours will be posted on the event website when they're ready. It's a little tricky to get to, but once we have the confirmed information, we'll give out all the race day, all the expo logistics on how to get there. Staff included, it can be tricky to get there on time. And Saturday, May 18th is race day. Once you get through the whole season, you've done the training, you've done the fundraising, you've done everything. You've done helping so much with the community. Saturday's race day. Coaches will be on site to have you guys ready. And yeah, that's where this is all leading to. And with that, I'll turn it over to Lindsay.
Yes. Okay, so every Sunday you will receive your weekly email. The first one went out this Sunday, so if you didn't receive it, definitely let us know. We'll be able to look into why and make sure that you're getting them for the future. This email is going to have everything that you need to know for the week and for the whole season. So it'll have updates and reminders, event updates, fundraising impact stories so that you can see where the money that you're raising is going. Those are super helpful for when you're fundraising to share with your donors as well. virtual strength training videos, in-person practice details, the training tip of the week, fundraising tips, and the link to the fundraising consultation form that David mentioned previously. So definitely check out the email from Sunday, and then every week you'll get that Sunday morning. And some of these things will be included every week, like we'll remind you of your fundraising deadline every week. We will have that link to the request form every week. So if you lose one of the emails, don't fear, you'll get one the next week with a lot of the same information and also new information. Next slide, please. Another thing that we'll link to in all of your weekly emails is our Facebook training group. So I definitely recommend joining the Facebook group. It's just got a lot of helpful tips and tricks that we might not think of from people who have run with TFK in the past, people who are new to TFK who might have a new perspective that they want to share. You'll get training tips there, motivation. People will post things that worked for them as far as fundraising. So I think that that's actually one of the most helpful things in the Facebook group. Just people come up with really creative ways to fundraise. And the more information that you have and the more resources you have at your fingertips, the better. We'll also be in there along with our coaches. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to email us. That's the best way to get us, but you can also post in the Facebook group and, we'll try to get you an answer there as well. And we also provide access to NYRR's Coaching Lab by Run Coach, which is a customizable virtual training program. So it's an app that you can download. We provide complimentary access, and the app it'll update with your training. So whatever information you're putting in from your runs, it's going to update the program to help you specifically. So this is useful both for people that are training with us in person that are local to New York. And if you're not local to New York, this is great because you'll be getting a lot of the same training benefits, even not being here in person with us. So like I said, we do provide this complimentary for our runners, and there is a link to get more information and download it in the email from February 23rd, and also your week 1 email from this past Sunday. But again, if you can't find the link, if you're not sure where to find it, if you have any questions, email us and we'll be happy to help.
Speaking of great things that you get in your email, for those of you who are in the New York City area, or Jose, if you're coming in from Redondo Beach, California, we have in-person training every Saturday, and information about each week's workout will be listed in the email. But for those of you who aren't local, it's also a way to see what the recommended workout is from the coach, the tip of the week. And for those of you who are also run walkers, we also have the cadence there as well. So beginning this weekend, Team for Kids will have practices for every Saturday for 10 weeks, leaving from Central Park and meeting at the USS Main Monument. Links for every single location, every single week, if it's not Central Park, will still be included in the email. 2 of the practices will be meeting in Brooklyn, and there will be no practice the weekend of March 16th because we'll be busy for the NYC half. We will have bag watch available at the NYR Run Center. If you need to take advantage of that, make sure you get to the NYR Run Center at least 15 minutes prior to practice. That way you can properly put your bag away. You have to enter on 56th Street at the back of the NYR Run Center. Again, clear instructions will be included in every weekly email for bag check. We'll also be posting it as well in the Facebook group. And when we have the practices in Brooklyn, we'll also include information about what options are available for bag check. Usually it's very limited, but we'll include those in every single email. So just at a glance, looking at our in-person practice schedules, we mentioned March 16th, we have no in-person practice. You'll be seeing that in the weekly email, not to worry. March 23rd, 30th, April 6th, we're excited to see you in Central Park. On April 13th, we'll be meeting in Brooklyn. We'll be meeting at the Brooklyn Museum, and we'll be taking a Prospect Park route. Information for that, again, be included in the weekly email. April 20th, April 27th, we'll see you back at Central Park. May 4th, we'll be starting in Brooklyn and Prospect Park, and we'll be finishing Coney Island near the finish line of the race. And then May 11th will be our final practice before the actual race itself. And now I'm going to hand it over to Coach Ben to introduce our coaches that we have on the line also.
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody who's local and not local. I know Jose's in Redondo Beach. I'm actually from California, so I saw Redondo Beach pop up. And I got very excited because I used to live just south of that in Orange County. So glad you're on the call, Jose. Everybody who's local, thank you so much. We do have a few coaches here on the call with us as well. I'll just go as I see it here in the old chat. Coach Rowe, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, Ben. Thank you. And I'm happy to be here. I have been coaching with Team for Kids for 2 years now. God, I don't even know anymore. But I also ran for Team for Kids for the Brooklyn Half. I think it was probably 2016 or something. But we're here every Saturday to run with you. We have great tips about training. We're also on your Facebook group, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, and I'll be running with you on race day as well.
That's right, you are running because you live like right there, Ro. So you better be running. It's like your hometown race, right?
It's my favorite race because there is nothing better than ending a race at the beach and running into the water.
A lot of people do that. You come off of the boardwalk and you'll get in the water and then go back over and get a dog and a beer. And that's what we're going to do here, folks. It's the best kind of race you want to go to. Rosie, how you doing tonight?
I'm well, thank you, Coach Ben. Welcome, runners. It's a pleasure to have you on this call. My name is Coach Rosie. This is my 3rd season as a coach with Team for Kids. I will be running the Brooklyn Half as well, and I will be at most of your practices together with Coach Rowe. But we also have many other coaches who could not make the call tonight, so don't think that it's just the 3 of us. We coach every group, so don't think that you are too slow, or don't be afraid that you won't find the correct fit. There is a fit for everybody. We have run walkers, we have speedy people, anything in between, any size, shape, form that you can imagine. You won't regret it. Just come once and you will fall in love with the training.
Yeah, I said exactly perfect, Rosie. Is, dude, just show up. I mean, we are a group. We want to support you. As you know, Jeremy talked about at the top of the call, you're doing wonderful things for your fundraising. So I like to say, do this for you. Come to practice if you're local. Connect with other runners. Connect with your coaches. Anyone out there who may be doing your first half marathon, first of all, congratulations. Awesome. You're going to have a wonderful day. It'll be your fastest half marathon you ever do because it's your first one. So show up to practice. Get to know people, ask the questions. We've heard it all, but maybe you have something new for us, and we would love to hear something new. But ask the questions that you have. What to wear on race day? When should I be taking my hydration? What should I be taking for my new to eat during the run? What to eat before the run? All those kind of things. Bring those questions to us. You know, the great thing about our weekend practice on Saturday is that our paces or our efforts are going to be conversational. So you should be able to carry a conversation while we run. So you'll be able to ask the questions either to coaches, but you'll also be able to meet your fellow runners. Maybe you may make a lifelong friend who becomes a training partner for other races you may have down the road. So as Rosie was saying, come on out, join us on a Saturday morning. If you're local here, you're probably looking out the window and you see in the rain. We run in just about any condition. I don't want to, you know, last year's, I think, a half marathon for Brooklyn, we got some rain, right? Anyone? It rained at the end, right? Or was that the year before? I didn't remember. It was last year? Yeah, it was. Is that correct? It rained last year?
Oh, yeah.
Last year it rained basically for the second wave. I think the first wave made it through dry.
Gotcha. Yeah, so again.
They did.
So again, coming to practice gets you that preparation for race day. You get you the idea of, okay, what do I wear when it rains? Because you want to be ready. You want to be prepared for whatever you're going to be doing out there on race day. So coming to practice, rain or shine, is always a good idea. I know we just had our NYC half crew. We just did our longest run this past Saturday from Barclays Center to Manhattan, just Central Park, and it rained the entire time. It was, you know, we all got it done because you never know what waits for you on race day. You want to make sure you test as much stuff out. So please come on, come join us on Saturday mornings. We'll be out there waiting for you at Columbus Surf Circle. And Pro tip, there are bathrooms at the run center. So if you're coming in from a distance, get yourself over to the run center, drop off your bag, use the potty, and then come join us for a run.
Coach Ben, the question, a very important question already asked. If you are doing Run Coach, and it tells you to do one thing on Saturday and you come to practice, how is practice geared towards that? How do you adjust or account for that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're following the plan on Run Coach, that plan is giving you like the whole kit and caboodle. It's giving you what you do during the week, your rest days, until it's kind of building you up. So if you're going to be doing Run Coach and you come to our practices in person on Saturday, if your run plan has you going a little bit longer than we're running on Saturday, maybe come a little bit earlier, do your miles, you do your timer miles beforehand. If you're doing less, just let a coach know, hey, you guys are running for an hour, hour and a half. My plan has me going for an hour and 15 minutes. Just let a coach know what your plans are. So if you plan to leave before we're done, or what your plan has you prescribed to do that day, so we know where you're going to be, make sure you go home safely. But again, if you're following Run Coach, that should be your guidance, because that's giving you a broader scope of what your plan is supposed to look like to get you ready for the start line on, was it May 18th? Is that race day? May 18th? Holy smokes, folks. They got one race here, one race there. All the races are coming.
May I add that the Run Coach app also syncs with Strava. So if you are doing any other kind of cross training, it will be automatically uploaded and it will take into consideration that as well. Let's say you bike or do other stuff. There is a way to sync it so that you don't overstress your muscles.
And we have a great question in the Q&A. How many miles are the Saturday practices?
I did see that. So we run by time, or I prefer to have our groups we meet in practice, we run by time. Why is that important? Because if I tell somebody to run a distance that maybe they're not prepared for, that could be further than their body's ready, and then you begin to risk an injury. So I'm a very big time based. When we do our long runs, our long run this weekend will be somewhere between 50 to 60 minutes, and then we will build off of that. So whatever your pace is what your pace is, or your effort is during that time frame. So how many miles you get in is where you're going to be. I much prefer that. I had a runner ask me that a while ago, like, well, why don't we go for miles? Because if I tell someone they have to run for 10 miles, if you're not having a good day and you get to mile 8, but you're so focused on getting to 10 that you keep pushing through and you get hurt. Where if I have an hour to run, all I got to do is run for an hour at whatever effort I feel like, and then I'm done for that day. So we really stick to that because, again, our goals, our coaching staff here is we want you to get to the start line as healthy and as fit as you can. If you don't get to the start line healthy, then your race may not go the way you want. So we really are focused on getting you there and ready to rock and roll on May 18th. Yes.
All right. Do you have any questions that weren't asked in the Q&A? Feel free to raise your hand. If you don't want to raise your hand, feel free to put in the Q&A and we'll still be able to answer them. I sent you guys a message. I apologize for not putting that there is no practice on March 30th, Easter weekend, in that slide before. I apologize. As Ben correctly reminded me, Easter weekend, we're all taking a break. And again, every email that you guys will be receiving will let you know if there's going to be practice that upcoming weekend. And if there is, what the practice time will be, location will be, so you'll still be in the know. So I apologize.
Yeah, and I mean, the main takeaways from tonight really is read the email every Sunday. Everything you need to know, everything that we think is important for you to know will be in that email. You get it at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. Give it a read. It'll tell you all about practice. We'll flag any registration deadlines, fundraising deadlines, anything that you need to know, any decisions you need to make about the race. It's all in there. And if you have a question, just at any point, email us at teamforkids@nyrr.org. We are there every day. Not the weekends, but Monday through Friday, we are there answering your questions. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So any questions you have there, go ahead and ask. People ask us anything, so feel very comfortable asking just whatever's on your mind pertaining to this race. Please feel free to ask us.
Just in addition to the weekly emails, which we've mentioned a couple times this call, we also do use social media and other avenues if in the event of like practice cancellations or emergencies or like really key reminders that we need to make sure everyone gets the news. We'll also try to reach out on those avenues as well.
Very good. And with that, no more questions right now. We'll let you guys go. Looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend, hopefully at kickoff or at a practice in the very near future. But again, thank you very much for signing up for Team for Kids. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help you along the way. We'll definitely see you in Brooklyn in May, hopefully sooner. And Team for Kids at nyrr.org. Let us know whatever you're thinking, whatever you're wondering. We are here to help you and get you to the finish line. So thanks, everyone. Have a great night.